Good afternoon, everyone. It's Saturday afternoon, May 30th, 2020, the year that just never ends. But the end is near. There's been a lot of developments in the last week here in eastern Pennsylvania, and most of it's good. So just want to give you a quick update. I know I did an update a week ago, and a lot has changed in that week, so here it goes. So what am I roaming around doing today? I'm heading up to Blue Mountain Resort, the Slopeside Pub and Grill, which is open for curbside pickup. I don't know if they've opened the dining yet. I forget if they're Northampton or Carbon County, but either way, we got some good news. The Lehigh Valley, which is Northampton and Lehigh counties, we're going yellow next Friday. And what that means is finally, after close to 3 long months, some of our lockdown restrictions are going to start to be eased. It's still going to be fairly restrictive. It's not going to be back to business as usual, but you're going to see a lot of things reopen that have been closed. Basically, retail can reopen, parks can reopen, of course with social distancing measures in practice. The drive-in theaters can finally reopen. Restaurants are going to be allowed to have outdoor dining open again, which, heck, this is the perfect time of year for it. In fact, I'll edit in a picture or two if I can find them when I get home, but Slopeside Pub and Grill on Blue Mountain has some stunning views. I'm probably not going to eat there in person until the pandemic's over, but they got great views looking from the top of Blue Mountain out towards the Pocono Mountains. We're still not going to have sporting events with people in attendance. Indoor movie theaters are not going to be open. Malls are not going to be open. Any stores attached to a mall with an an exterior entrance are going to be allowed to open. For me, that's actually pretty exciting news, because that means 2 of my favorite stores up at Lehigh Valley Mall, the Apple Store and Barnes & Noble, they should reopen. I don't know for sure that they are, but that's the way I interpret it. So things are improving. They're going to run the NASCAR races at Pocono this year, but with no spectators. I wasn't going to go to that anyway, so no big deal. IndyCar is going to formally start their season next Saturday. I have to figure out how I'm going to stream that this year. The service I used to use went under, so I got to come up with a new way to do it. I got a couple options. And this is interesting. So the sun's back out. Let me tell you what happened this afternoon. I got some more side work this weekend. Smaller workload for 2 different clients. The business is actually starting to take off again, which is good, obviously. And I'm thinking of ways to grow it, but the work's finding me again, which is pretty cool. I worked most of today. And then I stopped working to watch the SpaceX rocket launch, which was the first time that they're carrying astronauts to the International Space Station. So that blasted off from Cape Canaveral. I said, all right, I'm going to work. Then I'm going to watch that on live stream, which I did. And then I'm going to do a little bit of yard work. And then I'm going to go for a walk or bike ride. I figured, that would make a pretty good evening. Well, the kind of luck I have, go outside, getting the tractor out to mow the grass, and it's changing from sunny skies to looking like the skies are going to open up and rain. I pull out the phone, I check my weather app. There's nothing on radar. It's looking clear, but you can feel the wind picking up. You can feel the temperatures getting chilly. So I figured, what the hell, I got to mow the grass anyway. Let me start doing it. I do it. I got through it. It was fine. I think I felt a few drops of rain through it, but nothing worth worrying about. But as I'm mowing, I'm like, gosh, I'm just so sick of the garbage food I've been getting from the grocery store locally, especially as it's getting to be slim pickings with the variety. I'm just craving a really good burger. And I said, they've been doing this curbside pickup for months. I haven't done it yet. Wow, I'm a little distracted. You can't see this. There's a truck in the rearview mirror, Chevy pickup, early 70s, black. It's exactly like the truck I learned to drive on. My dad had one, not in as good a shape as the one behind me. Now it's turning a different direction. You're not going to see it, but man, that is freaking sweet. Do I ever get through a driving video without getting distracted by a car or truck? Probably not. Anyway, I'm on Blue Mountain Drive, so long story short, I'm driving my tractor, and I just said, I know my luck. The minute I hit the trail, the skies are going to open up, so forget it. I'm just going to go get myself a good dinner, and then I'm going to finish my work tonight so that I can actually have tomorrow off. I was going to finish the work tomorrow, but what the heck, I'll finish it today. So, I finish up my yard work. It's getting really chilly. The wind is really picking up. I checked the radar. There is little spotty bits of rain. It's all right. Seems like the right decision. I come inside. I call up the menu to order from Slopeside Pub and Grill. I place my order. I get my keys. I get in the truck. I take you guys for a drive, and now I see the sun coming out. I guess that's just Murphy's Law, but so I guess it'll remain to be seen. I'm going to have this big dinner. I don't know if I'm going to want to go for a walk after having a whole bunch of food, but maybe I will. But I think odds are I'll just finish up my work, and I'll finish up my Photoshop assignment for the week, and I'll do something bigger tomorrow. What that something is, I haven't decided yet. I've got about 50 million ideas for hiking and biking. I think a lot of you already saw the video I posted this morning. There's that little A-liner. I guess they decided not to sell that A-liner RV. I think that's what that thing's called. That thing was out for sale last year. Again, distracted by vehicles. And I don't even remember what I was talking about now. How is that? So what was I talking about the video this morning from my hike a couple days ago out on Winter Trail. It was just an itch I had to scratch. I mean, for years I've said, wow, I know there's hiking trails up and down Blue Mountain. I know there's the Appalachian Trail, and I've just kind of always put that in my head, categorized that as, well, it's something that other people do. It's beyond my ability to do it. I tend to stick with the very flat trails. And I don't know what it is. I think it's just, you've seen my videos. I love a good view. I mean, there is just nothing better than standing on top of the world and looking to the horizon. It's so peaceful. It's so tranquil. And I think in these troubled times, I need that more than ever. I mean, it's never a bad thing, right? But I really need it right now. And so, as I've been making my way along, the DNL trail, you can tell I've been up there a couple times through Lehigh Gap, because that's my current favorite place. I just keep looking up and saying, wow, I've got a good view down here, but I bet the view's even better up there. And during a joyride last week, I didn't make a video of it, but I pulled into the parking area for the Winter Trail because I had a suspicion from the map that it started out fairly flat before it turned up the mountain, and sure enough, I was right. And I took a glimpse at the beginning of the trail, and I said, hey, this is pretty flat, looks pretty easy. So I just went exploring after work the other day, and I didn't know how far I would get, but, it was just one of those, hey, let's see where this thing goes. And I had about 5/8 of a mile in, and I really should have brought my hiking stick. I stupidly left it in the truck, but, the early part of the trail was like, well, this is just walking, what do I need this for? And then I got to a point that I felt I needed it, so instead of taking a chance and doing something stupid. I just turned around, which was fine. I mean, it still made for a very nice 1.25 mile walk. I think you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making the video. But doing that really fueled my desire to say, I want to get to the top of Blue Mountain here. I've seen pictures online. It is a fabulous view. I mean, it rivals that video I made earlier this year called the 300-mile view up from near Jim Thorpe. I mean, you could just see, you know, probably most of the way to Philadelphia. I don't know exactly what you can see. I won't know till I get up there, but it's just one of those. I really want to stand there, and there's no way to drive up there, obviously. So there's two main ways, actually 3 ways up to it. Taking the winter trail, what you got to do, you got to go flat through Lehigh Gap. That's actually built on a former rail bed, and you go through to the Palmerton side. And then it's like a switchback. It zigzags up and down the, up the mountain till it meets the main Appalachian Trail. And that's, from what I've learned about it, that's generally considered the easy way up. I mean, it's steep. Going up's actually easier than going down. So, you know, I don't expect to get up it on my first try. I've measured it on Google Maps. It looks like it's going to be about a 3-mile round trip hike. Well, currently I can't even walk 3 miles on a flat trail. So, A, I've got to get my distance up, and B, I've got to, you know, get acclimated to doing the hills. So I don't know how many tries it's going to take me to get up. Certainly not going to do it on the first try, but I'm going to try to get out there, say, in the next week or so, maybe tomorrow. I don't know yet. And at least get through the entire flat portion and just, I want to see with my own eyes what the slope looks like, you know. How hard is it? Is it realistic for me to do? I think it is, but, you know, I want to see it firsthand. I want to take, you know, at least some walk up a little bit of it just to see what I'm in for, see how I feel. But that's my new goal. I mean, so you could go that way. I said there's 3 ways. That's the first way. That's the easiest way. The other way is from the same parking lot, is to go up the Appalachian Trail itself. And I can tell you from seeing the first part of that, I can't do that. It's these steep steps that are almost like climbs, and apparently it gets worse near the top where you are almost rock climbing. I'm not doing that. That's pure stupidity. The other way, the third way, and I couldn't have timed it this way if I tried, to my left is parking for the Appalachian Trail. You could park there and you could walk west on, it's certainly not going to be flat, but I think it's terrain I could handle. You could walk from here to the summit of Blue Mountain at Lehigh Gap. And people do it all the time. I can't. That's 4.5 miles each way, so you'd have to do it round trip. That's 9 miles. Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. So for now, my plan, my goal, my main mission in life, because I think it's good to have something to focus on during these crazy times that's, you know, uplifting and positive. I want to climb up the winter trail or hike up the winter trail to get to the top of Blue Mountain, and I want to make a video up there. So I can't promise when you're going to see it, but, you know, stick with me. I'll update you on progress. So one idea I have for tomorrow is to go explore the winter trail a little bit more. The main reason I hesitate about that is an extremely popular hiking spot on the weekends. The odds of getting parking, probably not so good. And the way that trail narrows, it's, even though, you know, people disperse on the trail, you're going to have a tough time social distancing there. But I don't know. We'll see. I might do it. If I don't do that, I actually may make an attempt at hiking some of the sloped trails on the other side of Lehigh Gap that rise from the DNL trail. I've been looking into that a little bit more. That appeals to me. I'm going to pause this video because I don't know how this curbside pickup works. This is my first time doing it, so I'm pulling up here. I'll see you on the other side. Alright, so I'm good to go. Tracy, there is a really cool side-by-side for you. I don't know how that one compares to the two you have, but it looks pretty sweet to me. This is what happens when you get the green on the trees. You lose the view. I don't know if you caught a glimpse there of the Pocono Mountains as I swung around there. I know I've been up here before. You see people up here just parked to enjoy the view. So yeah, actually I had an interesting drive one time with the side-by-sides. I guess some people are out here sitting on the rocks and tables eating. I guess you could do that. I'm going to be taking dinner home. Yeah, a number of years ago, you might enjoy this, Tracy, although I know they don't, I don't think they offer this anymore. There's a ski resort out in western Pennsylvania near Johnstown, PA, which is best known for a devastating flood. I'd gone out there for a long weekend, probably a little over a decade ago. My main reason for going out to that part of the state was I wanted to visit Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water. Happens to be my favorite house on planet Earth. And I finally had a chance to go tour it. And then I actually also got to tour Kentuck Knob, which is another Frank Lloyd Wright house just up the road from Falling Water. Not everybody knows about Kentuck Knob, though. That one's kind of the best kept secret. But I figured while I was out there, main reason I wanted to go to Seven Springs is they had and I don't know if they still have it or not, but they had one of those old school alpine slides where you sit on a little sled and you go down the concrete track, and if you're careful you don't fly out of it and kill yourself. I always loved those. There used to be a really, really good one up at Camelback Ski Area, which is a little bit northeast of here. I'm going a different way. I'll tell you why in a second. Used to love going up to the one at Camelback, buying an all-day ride pass, pushing the limit. For the record, I never flew out of the thing, but I probably came close a couple of times. But gosh, was it fun. And I said, well, you know, I haven't been on one in years, and I said, while I'm out touring the Frank Lloyd Wright houses, let me stop by Seven Springs and you know, get nostalgic and ride their alpine slide. And it was an okay one. It wasn't nearly as good as the Camelback one, but it was fun. But what was more fun was, at the time, you could rent one of those side-by-sides. And I'd never driven one, and you know me, I want to drive everything on planet Earth, so of course I had to try that. And it was about an hour-long tour. You know, they took you up in a group, basically using the ski trails, since it's, you know, I think I went out in August, so it was summer, so no snow, obviously. Pennsylvania can be bad, but not that bad. You know, they basically took you up the mountain. They had an area up top where you could kind of let loose and see what the thing could really do, and then they took you back down a different way, and gosh, was it fun. I really wanted to come home and buy one, and I looked into them, and at the time, I think I was still living at my old house when I did that, so I didn't even have... I had no garage, no shed. I'm pretty sure I was still living there, and all I was thinking was, okay, even if I come up with the money to buy this thing, where am I going to store it? Where am I actually going to use it? So I never got one, but doesn't mean I don't still want one. I'd still love to have one. It's just probably not priority right now, but I don't know. Why am I going this way? Because I can. It's just such a nice day. The sun's back out. I got my food. I've got a barbecue burger. I've been craving a good burger. Hopefully this scratches the itch. I've had it here before. I know they make it well. I've just never had it for takeout. It's different. And I also got something to try new. It's called pierogi poutine. So that combines two of my favorite things on planet Earth. We'll see how that is. That'll be something new for me. It's probably enough food for 2 or 3 dinners, but that's fine. I'm just really getting tired of the cheap frozen crap from the grocery store. In our grocery store, they're well stocked with toilet paper again, but the food selection's actually getting worse, which is kind of scary, but figure something out. Back to why am I joyriding? Boy, am I ADD today or what? I think it's just spring has sprung, and I'm out for an enjoyable day, and some restrictions are going to ease, and maybe life will start looking a little more normal again. If you haven't guessed, guess where we're going? What's my favorite place right now? We're going to Lehigh Gap. Is that out of my way? I can't even talk. Is that out of my way on the way home? Of course it is. Not by that much. So you're looking actually right now at the north face of Blue Mountain. The excuse me. The Appalachian Trail runs along that ridge. And that's where, just before I got to Blue Mountain Resort, I said if you got ambitious, you could hike from Blue Mountain Drive to Lehigh Gap. That's exactly how you would do it. You would follow that ridge, and people do that hike. I mean, I guess the way to do it, if I could ever work up to doing 4.5 miles, actually it would be more like 5.5, because you still got to get down. If I could get somebody, if I could leave my truck in that parking lot and get somebody to shuttle me over up near Blue Mountain, I guess I could do that. I'm not going to impose on anybody to do that during the pandemic, obviously, and I've certainly, as I've said, I've got to get more fit anyway. I'll tell you what's really weird right now. It's Saturday evening around 6:30. There's nobody on this road. I mean, yes, we're kind of out in the country, but these roads should be much better traveled than they are right now. You'd see this level of traffic in the winter. And actually, you might see more during the winter. So it's still a little unnerving, just seeing so many things still shut down. I'm just still not used to it, and I guess the good news is it'll start getting better, so I don't have to really get any more used to it. A little bit to the north of here, somewhere I've only been one time, but I'd like to go more, and I've never done a video or anything. I'll see again if I can find a photo to splice in. Is Beltsville Lake. That's a state park. There's some hiking trails there. I think I want to check that out. That's on my to-do list this year, not this weekend. I don't think it's reopened yet, but it's going to reopen. What's really confusing, I gotta say, is okay, I understand their red, yellow, green stuff. I mean, they're still clarifying it. But where I started this drive in Northampton County was, quote, red. I'm in Carbon County now, which is yellow. So simply by crossing this mountain here, the rules change. As of next Friday, they'll both be yellow, they'll be the same, but then this area will go green before Northampton, and there'll be a disparity of rules again, but I'm trying not to get too bogged down in it. But anyway, Beltsville Lake State Park, that's going to reopen. I think actually you have seen Beltsville Lake State Park. When I did the 100-mile view video, you could see that, and I pointed that out. And actually, I remember, Leah, you commented on that. So I guess technically I have shown you that from afar. There is a small beach there. That was the main reason I went up there last year, I think it was, maybe the year before. The problem is it gets overrun. You know, even pre-pandemic, it literally gets overrun on the weekends, and they actually have to stop letting people in, and it's kind of gets trashy. So it's just hard. I mean, you guys know me kind of as a mountain person because of where I live, but if I had to choose between the beaches or the mountains, it would actually be the beaches. I know you wouldn't infer that from my videos, but sometimes I just get this insane longing to be at the beach, and I thought maybe that would help me scratch the itch. It really didn't, but there actually is another lake with a better beach up a little bit past Jim Thorpe that I do want to check out. That was actually on this year's to-do list, and like the 50,000 other things on this year's to-do list, that's, who knows when I'll get to that. But I will say this year, I think I'm becoming more of a mountain person. Not that I don't like the mountains. They're beautiful. I mean, I've shown you 50 million videos of me driving around them. Obviously, I like them, but something's changed this year, and I really do think it's related to the pandemic. It's just that I've been more interested in walking the trails instead of biking. And it's hard to say why. But I think what it is it's kind of more relaxing. I can kind of be with my thoughts a little bit more. There's just something about it, and I think it's what I need right now. You can certainly take a lot more in. I mean, I've taken a couple walks in recent weeks on trails that I've always biked and I'd never walked before, and I've been on the trails dozens, if not hundreds of times, and simply by walking them, I just saw things that I never noticed before. I just somehow have gotten a deeper appreciation of these places, and that's kind of led to my interest in climbing up Lehigh Gap. You should actually be able to see Lehigh Gap just off to the left here. That's kind of my other ulterior motive for coming up here. This is Palmerton we're entering. I love this town. I've actually never gotten out of the truck and set foot in this town, so I can't tell you the first thing about it, but there's just something about driving through it. It just has that old school, classic small town American feel to me. I mean, it's just something about it. I don't know what it is. I like driving through here. It just looks and feels different than other towns in the area. This is going to take me back out to 248, and then you'll start seeing the road that I've driven you through 50 million times. And part of why we drive these roads 50 million times is when it comes to Blue Mountain, there's not many ways over it. I mean, from having crossed over by Blue Mountain Resort, there is, as you go west, the direction we're going in, there is no other way to cross it until you get to Lehigh Gap. It's not like there's other roads I can show you. Heading east, between here and Route 33, which goes between Easton and Stroudsburg, which is really the eastern PA border, between 33 and Blue Mountain, I think there's only one other way to cross through, and I only did it one time, and it's a really out-of-the-way gravel dirt road thing that you typically wouldn't use unless you had a good reason to. And then I think there's one, maybe two more roads between 33 and the eastern PA border crossing it, and that's it. I mean, you don't really have a lot of options. It's the mountain really does divide life up here. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just in terms of driving, you don't have a lot of options. What we're looking at straight ahead here, obviously, it's still Blue Mountain. I biked there last weekend. I still have not edited the video. I do have I do have some new footage since I last talked to you guys. I got a lot of different kind of footage last weekend. I put the GoPro on the bike's handlebars again. Wasn't completely happy with the result. My plan had been, I was going to do a full video set to music driving from Bowmanstown through Lehigh Gap, and then I ended up going even further. I ended up going down to the Slatington Airport before I turned around. I was going to do a full video of that direction and then a full video of the other direction, and turns out I'm not going to do either one. For one, I didn't like the angle I set it at, and two, it just, I don't know, the quality just isn't there. I mean, it's very jerky. I mean, you don't think you're moving the bike handlebars a lot, and then you watch it and you feel like you're going to get seasick. So I think what I'm probably... Oh, and then the other thing that happened on the way back, I outlasted the battery. I mean, I guess that's a good thing, right? And I didn't bring the spare battery with me. Next time I will. There's that house on top of the red hill that I love so much. I just, gosh, I can't imagine how cool the views are from that. This is Lehigh Gap. Obviously, you've seen it 100 million times. Various videos, driving, walking. I will have the biking one. If you look straight ahead, you see that concrete retaining wall, and then you can see a light tan line running horizontal across it. That is the winter trail. And that's about... actually, that's a little further than I got. I'm trying to gauge where I ended up on my hike the other night. That's a little further than I got, because that starts to wind around the base of the mountain here. Somewhere in about here, it should start to climb the mountain. I'm not sure exactly where it turns and climbs, because I didn't get that far. I think I got to about here. That looks familiar. It's funny, it seems so huge and long. There's the railroad abutment that I did a video from. This is the cantilever. I think I did a little bit of video looking down. I'm not sure if that was clear to everybody, that the roadway is stacked on top of itself there out of necessity. To my right is that big bridge you saw in some of the videos. That's 873 that runs into Slatington and goes to Lehigh Gap Nature Center. Hold on, I'm kind of watching traffic coming behind me, around me, and of course I'm trying to be sightseer. The guy behind me decides to cut across 2 lanes with no signal. Whatever. There's the parking lot to the left. That's the driveway to the parking lot. So that quick little spell where I could barely describe the whole thing, that took me like an hour to hike. Actually, not quite an hour, but it's funny how, you know, that gets back to what I was saying about walking versus driving versus biking, is the more you slow down, the more you see. And I've never really been a slow person by nature. I've always like to keep moving, but I've just, this year there's just been something about really being able to be on foot. You feel more connected to your environment. You really get to see every little thing. It's easier to stop and snap a picture. There's just been something really soothing about it. I mean, it's hard to put it in words. There's so many emotions this year that I've had a hard time putting into words, both good and bad. And I'm sure that's true for everybody. I mean, this is, even after this pandemic's gone, I think it's going to take a long time for a lot of us to really, really digest it and process it and move on from it. Anyway, I am going to wrap this up because I'm just going to keep rambling about nothing, and I've probably done enough of that already. This food smells so good, I can't wait to get home and dig in. I can tell you now at this point there's not going to be time to go back out for a walk tonight, but that's okay. I'm going to finish up my work tonight, and then I can actually have a day off tomorrow. That's getting to be a novelty. It's actually been... No, I had full days off during the Memorial Day weekend, but most of May I've worked 7-day weeks. So anyway, here I go, rambling again. If you've gotten this far, thanks for coming along for the ride. Thanks for watching, and look for more videos from me soon. Okay, enjoy your weekend.